As gaming handhelds continue to gain popularity, it's becoming increasingly clear that the operating system really matters on these devices. There's just a huge difference between booting into a normal Windows desktop versus something that's actually designed for this kind of hardware. And right now, for most people, steamOS is the operating system of choice. It is much more efficient and it's really at home on a device like this. But with that said, very soon we may be seeing another option that could be just as effective as steamOS while fixing its biggest issue and limitation. This is the Windows-powered Legion Go, and this is the steamOS-powered Go S model. The hardware is similar, but the software makes all the difference. The Windows version just feels less like a gaming handheld and more like a 2-in-1 PC. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but to me at least, it did feel a little bit awkward at times, given the hardware of this device. But on the other hand, the steamOS version did feel more appropriate given the hardware. And aside from just the UI, the under-the-hood optimizations are also pretty noticeable. The chip on the Windows version needs to allocate a pretty decent chunk of its performance to various background tasks that the steamOS model completely eliminates. Now, of course, there still are some background operations going on here, but in comparison to the Windows platform, there's significantly less, allowing more of the performance to be used for actual gaming. And this potentially has the biggest impact when it comes to the battery life. So the Go S does have roughly a 10% larger battery, but I was seeing about 50% longer run times on this device. So the benefits here are pretty obvious, but very soon, steamOS will not be the only viable option. Beginning later this year, Windows is rolling out a new level of Xbox integration, and we're seeing this first launch on the upcoming Xbox Ally X. But again, this feature will be baked directly into Windows, making it eventually accessible to a much wider variety of handhelds. And on paper, it does do exactly what steamOS does. It boots you directly into a controller and game-friendly UI, and limits many of the normal Windows background tasks. Now, because this isn't officially out yet, we do have to wait and see how this ultimately performs and if it's as good as steamOS, but having this functionality is certainly a step in the right direction, and we could even see the Xbox platform become more closely integrated with Windows over time, especially if this goes well. And in comparison to steamOS, this Xbox integration could have one crucial advantage, and that's to do with game compatibility. Because steamOS, as fantastic as it is, it's built on Linux. This certainly has some advantages, but most games are designed for Windows, meaning that in order to run on this device, they need to go through a translation software called Proton. And for me, this was my biggest problem with the Legion Go S. Half of my game library simply didn't work on that device. But again, when it comes to this Xbox version, because it's built off of Windows, this should not be an issue. And if this does provide a similar experience to steamOS in terms of the efficiency and the UI, then this really could become the new gold standard in the handheld PC market. And we should first see this in action mid-October with the launch of the Xbox Ally X, but then soon after that, it should be coming to most Windows devices. Definitely let us know your take in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.